mouse is. This is really weird. We've finally got a tripod and a glyph to hold the iPhone, so we actually now have what is pretty much a decent filming setup. We've got a lighting rig, got a tripod. I feel quite professional. This is just weird. But of course, I'm not going to let it go to my head. Whoosh, it'll go straight over me because I really don't know what I'm doing an awful lot when it comes to filming. But I talk to a camera, people seem to like it, and then we get on with something else. At least now we'll look a bit professional. Perhaps I'll start feeling a bit professional and things will become professional. Who knows? But at least now, because of the lighting rig, you'll be able to see me. Anyway, what was I actually wanting to talk to you about this week? There's not an awful lot, because it's one of those things. You have a show where you talk about your life and things that are interesting to you, and then all of a sudden, nothing interesting happens for ages. Which is one of the reasons why I don't do these every week. I'd love to, but I don't have time to do interesting things to talk to you about, because I have a lot of work to do. For those who don't know, my job currently is I make comics, I write and draw comics, and after that I do book designs for clients, I write articles for clients, I write articles for myself. I'm currently writing a non-fiction book and a fiction book. It's a horror story, it's going really well. The non-fiction book is about coding databases, so yay! It's generating databases through virtual reality, so it's quite interesting, but even then it's still very technical. What else have we got? At the moment I'm writing scripts. We're doing All Over the House, the comic, as a TV show, but it's a show that will be coming out on the web, so you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to see it for free too, so don't worry about that. That'll be good fun for you. We're hoping to film that later in the year, because I have to finish off the scripts and make them polished, and it's looking good so far. But who wouldn't say that when it's their project? So take it all with a pinch of salt, but it is going to be very good, because it's great. We've been practicing scenes and practicing the voices for the characters, and it's going really, really well. And that is not one of the characters' voices, or is it? What else we did? Oh, in my spare time, I've started building TARDISes. Now, all of you Doctor Who fans will know it's our dream to have a time machine. Well, I can't really have a time machine, but as part of my research for this book on coding databases in virtual reality, I created a database of landing points within Second Life. And I can now pilot my TARDIS to any of these points and travel between areas of the grid using a database that is controlled by a TARDIS. And currently I'm building the one from Scream of the Shulker, the Richard E. Grant animated Doctor Who special, and it's going really well. It looks pretty good. I'm actually really surprised. But the one I've built first of all was a classical series, mostly the Tom Baker Pyramids of Mars console, but I've made a few changes here and there to the walls and the setup and a bit of the console, just because I didn't want it to be too authentic, because I'm not really a fan of that. Plus, there are people who've already built really fantastic working authentic consoles. So I looked at it from the point of view of why duplicate effort. So what I'm doing is my own little take on it, and it works really well. Anyway, I'll show you that now. Hello there, this is April Curl in Second Life, or Zoe Kirk-Robinson in real life. Here you can see my TARDIS, which took about 4 hours to build out of all the objects in Second Life, called Prims, and which took about 3 or 4 hours extra to texture using Photoshop. All of the textures you can see here are built by me, except for the Seal of Rassilon on the floor I'm standing on, because that came from a Novotech transport system. I probably make my own transport systems later on as another project, but for the moment I'm using theirs. What you can see here is a Tom Baker Pyramids of Mars inspired console room, and we've got a lot of dials and controls here which are all scripted. If you see anything that's in 3D on the console, it's actually scripted, which means it's got a little program written inside of it. I don't know why parts of the time rotor there keep turning red, but they do, never mind. And what I just thought I'd do here is show you around the console room. It's built, as I say, to look like the classic series. It's not entirely accurate because I've made some little modifications myself, because I didn't see why I should do a full console when other people have done that before. Just pressed here the little help button that I've put in, and all of the labels have appeared on every part that I've actually put a script into. So we're going to have a little fiddle around here. I'm going to open up the scanner screen so you can see the vortex that's in there. It's a vortex that I haven't animated myself. I did actually get that from the internet, but I did put the animation script and layer it into Second Life myself, so it's partly me, but mostly it's by someone else. and it just looks nice. It adds a little bit extra to the console, makes it look a bit more live action. It's not the original Vortex, it's a different version. I like that one better than the original Vortex, because it just is. That little thing I've zoomed in on there, that's the flight grid. It's where we'll input a destination in a moment. It's the only part of the console that's not by me, because it's actually a sculpted prim, and I don't do sculpted prims that well yet, so I used someone else's for the moment. I'll do my own version later. So let's set a destination. We've got the lights on at the moment, so you can see very nicely, but I could turn them off and it would look really, really dull in here, so we won't. Oh, there we are. And now it goes dull. So you can see the lights do help an awful lot. The time rotor does glow, however, so we're getting a little bit of light, and the light from the scanner screen helps too. Anyway, let's set a destination. We're going to go and land at my current shop, the main shop. I've got a few dotted around Second Life to sell my textures and little extra things as well. But let's land at the main shop just so you can see the exteriors that I've been building. I've built a selection. Basically, I've got one exterior per Doctor and all the variants that they ever had, such as the pink TARDIS from the Happiness Patrol. So let's use my script. We're now accessing the database, and you can see we've got 3 landing areas so far. We're going to add more later, but we've got 3 at the moment. So let's go for my main shop, and we'll pick Tom Baker's console. Not console, we'll pick Tom Baker's exterior, and we'll land in that. The flight system doesn't take very long, and you can see the scanner screen has gone grey while we load in the texture that's in the landing pad. What actually happens there is we get the unique identification of the texture from the landing pad and put it in the database, and the console reads the database, accesses the texture, and prints it onto the scanner screen. We also put it in at the doorway, because that way when you open the doors on the console, it looks quite interesting, because it looks like you're stepping straight out into the building. You're actually not, because Second Life can't work that way. Instead, what we'd actually see is just a flat texture, and then you click on it and teleport. So let's do that now. We'll go and find the door button and open the doors for you. Every part of this is actually sounded, but unfortunately, because of the way I've managed to screw up my recording, you can see by the low quality of the image that we haven't recorded properly, so you can't also hear the sounds. I have got full sounds in, like the TARDIS landing, the doors opening, all the buttons, they make sounds too. Anyway, this is the texture I was on about. It's the same texture as the scanner screen. If we walk up and click on the door, we'll bring up the teleport screen, which tells you where we're going, and then you just click teleport. Second Life will then spend a couple of minutes, well, not minutes, a couple of seconds anyway, but it feels like longer, loading the area where we're going to. So if we just wait for that, there we are, and we're about to land. And now when we do land, we'll find that the exterior we've chosen, the Tom Baker police box, is already here, ready and waiting for us. We just have to load it in the area, and that's me landing there. Landing quite badly. It's like we just get dropped in, and there's the police box. It looks grey until the textures load in, but we'll just open the doors and step out so you can see the area that we're in. As you can see, textures load a bit slowly, but there we are. The police box has landed the wrong way around, otherwise we would see what we're seeing on the textured screen straight in front of us. Instead it's landed backward. I've got to work out why that's happened and stop it, so then it'll land the right way around. Anyway, that's really it. I'll just close the doors so no one can wander in and get into my console room while we're talking. And that's all we have for you. As you can see, it is the Tom Baker early years police box. I've got the other version too, but we just landed in this one for the moment. Anyway, that's all I've got for you, so I hope you enjoyed that little guided tour of my TARDIS. So what do you think of that? That's pretty good. Took me a couple of weeks to actually code the scripts properly for it, so all of the programming worked, but it took me only maybe 3 or 4 hours to put together the console itself, so that was pretty good effort for the time spent. Okay, what else have we got to do? I've already told you about the TV show that we're doing, and there's another one coming up after that, which is not based on the comic. It's a sci-fi extravaganza. It's going to be multi-dimensional conspiracy theory kind of thriller. And at the moment, it's looking really good. I've got most of the plot written for that, and we're just putting in the actual dialogue, and it's going to be filmable. But again, we're doing all of the house first, so that one will come later. Probably January, February time, and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, that's really all that's been happening for me. There's not an awful lot to actually show you apart from the TARDIS, because I can't show you a script. The script doesn't look really good when you put it onto a camera. It just looks like text, and that's no use. So what I'm going to do instead is say goodbye for now. I don't want to bore you, and I'll bring you back more information next time. Okay, until later, I've been Zoe Kirk-Robinson. You've been watching the video. Remember to click the like button and share it with your friends so that they see what's going on, and subscribe for future videos. Until next time, see you later.